Good morning.
Hello.
We made it.
It is 7:30 in the morning,
Yes,
which means I am 30 minutes late to being here.
well, to be fair, you aren't 30 minutes late. Your technology is 30 minutes late to working. You were here.
Nobody owns or has as access to as many computers as I do, and
Or as
still
many
can't
technical
make anything work.
problems.
You know what they say. More computers, more problems. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning. Oh my
How was your
lord.
day? How was your day yesterday?
Um, it was good. After the show, I went straight to work. Had a dumbass day at work, but we don't need to get too far into that. We had a
I also had something adjacent to one of those.
hell yeah. We had well, I had because I'm the only one in when I go in. Someone that we built a computer for like months and months ago just decide to show up for their computer unannounced. And I'm just like, who the hell are you? Why are you here? What do you want from me? And then I had to basically like hold their hand through every single process for like 3 hours to like get them working. And I literally like finished up with this guy and I was like, all right, I'm going home. Like, I don't care. Bye. I'm leaving.
My God.
Um,
So you just had their computer setting around forever and they decided today
yeah,
was the
so this
day?
thing had like lost domain association, so I basically had to reset the thing up for our network and like re-add
Hmm.
it into our like servers and like Active Directory, all this shit to like just so he could log in. And then the dude doesn't know any of his passwords, hasn't had any of that training, and I'm just like, oh my god, whoever your manager is, I want to get into a fist fight with them.
Oh, why would he? That's
um
that's beyond.
but yeah, and
Hmm.
then well, why was your day dumb? Why'd you have a dumb day at work? Your turn.
It was actually just so long. I spent a grand total of between being on streams and calls, a grand total of like 8 hours.
Oh my god.
Just speaking to the point where I actually kind of I'm taking it a bit easier today because I nearly lost my voice towards
Yeah.
the end of
Oh, I
of
believe it.
last night.
I
Hmm.
believe it.
Hmm. But good. It wasn't bad. It wasn't
Uh,
bad at all.
See, I'm
I'm
like,
excited to have a day off.
hell yeah. I'm a very sore boy today from shooting a music video yesterday.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that was what I was going to ask about next. So go ahead and I guess tell everybody what happened and me. I want to know.
Yeah, so we have a friend who is just a large and in charge, wonderful, flamboyant gay man who does drag. And we got asked, well, my roommate messaged me like Saturday and like, hey, do you want to help shoot a music video on Monday? And I was like, yeah, sure, I guess. This is how it works. I just kind of say yes to things. Like,
Hmm.
I don't really ask questions. I just say yes and show up. Um, So uh, he comes over, gets all dressed up and whatnot, and there's this like there's some abandoned buildings like a few blocks away from me, that are all just like painted, muraled in like rainbow colors and like all sorts of cool stuff like flowers, hearts. It's just pretty's not the right word because there's still like abandoned mattresses and garbage everywhere, but
Mhm.
but it's a really really cool way to like our abandoned buildings look really nice in my city.
Cool. Yeah.
um but so my for more context, my one roommate's a videographer as her job, and my other
Mhm.
roommate, she's an optical engineer, so she works with lasers and cameras and stuff, but she also does like photography work and whatnot.
Cool.
Um, and I just everyone I know is an artist, so by proxy, I get randomly involved in art projects and have things like this camera, so
Mhm.
I get
This is a
invited.
very nice camera.
So yeah, they were using tripods and basically just getting like the full shots of him performing, and I have one of those like gimbal arms that are like super stabilizers where you like
Uh-huh.
hold it like this and you point the camera here and then I can move my arm in like any way and
Mm.
it'll still be holding that
Mhm.
shot and be super stable. So
Yeah, my friend has one of those.
yeah, it's not that it's super heavy or anything, but an hour into holding it and moving around and
Just
following, and
forearms.
my this arm is just like dead. Like it is just sore from here to here.
God.
But I got a lot of really
That's
cool
so cool.
shots that I will share. I haven't gotten the chance to pull them. I'm not editing the video or anything. He's taking all the footage and it's supposed to come out I think on the 10th. So I will absolutely be sharing that when it comes out. But I'm gonna pull some of the really cool shots to show off because I got like all the like close up like panning like focus
Mhm.
related kind of like weird shots or from my camera.
Neat.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm excited. So is it just kind of like a drag video set to music, or is it a drag band that's doing a video for one of their songs,
No,
or
it's set to music. It's some Spanish song. I have no fucking clue what it is.
Dabney is awake? Hello, Die.
Hello.
Cool. Yeah, I'll be excited to watch that when it comes out.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to shoot. I've never really done anything like that before, so
Hmm.
hopefully it turns
Hmm.
out well.
I'm sure it will. I mean, I'm sure it'll be just fine. I'm sure it'll be good. I mean, from the clips that I saw that you sent me, it seemed really cool. I mean, like the setting alone, like you said, uh, was kind of a neat part of the city.
Yeah, there's this one wall that's just painted like color block rainbow. So it's just like
Hmm.
color,
Hmm.
color, 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 all the way down this like like 100 feet. So we did a shot where he basically like walked down the wall while I panned from the side. So
Hmm.
he's like walking as the colors change down the wall.
Neat. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll be excited to see that.
Yeah.
Oh man, today I would say today's my day off, but it's literally just more. It's not.
Today's the day where you like on your own work on stuff on your computer instead of running
Exactly.
sessions. You're
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
actively getting paid for your work. You're just doing other work.
I have two different modes, which is I'm working or I'm working on other stuff. Like
Yeah.
I'm working and then I'm working on something else, and then for 5.5 forbidden hours I'm sleeping.
Hell
For
yeah.
5.5 cursed hours I'm asleep every night. I don't know. Today's cool. I get at least on the days that it's my work, I get to focus on the things that I want to do,
Yeah.
like invoicing my clients. And actually, yeah, th- the art from Red Lance, Ray did some of it is very
Ooh,
very cool.
I'm
Um,
excited.
that, and then I have a little Xenokin, a little Xenokin surprise,
Ooh.
which I'm excited. A little Xeni surprise
Ooh.
coming out. So that'll be fun to continue to work on. And
I need to get first in line on their New Year's commission list because they're doing our merch. They don't know it yet.
that'll be cool. Neat, 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 neat. I'm sure they'll love to work on that.
Yeah, it's just gonna
Uh,
be me and you, incredibly tired, holding cups of coffee, just like holding each other up in the morning.
I am very tired. Especially, man, this morning more than any of the mornings. I really felt it. I got up and I was like, I can't do it. And then I did. I got up and came over here and knew like both laptops said no. Both laptops
Uh,
said that it was equally too early.
yeah, I feel you. I had
What
to.
about you? You got to go into work today?
Nope, just Monday and Friday this week. So we get to do an early show on Friday again.
Okay.
Usually we only have to
Okay.
do one early show a week, but once a month we have to do two.
Cool. Cool.
Um, and I do believe I've managed to convince Emily to come on this show at some point.
Oh, cool.
Probably for a weekend show because convincing her to wake up for us at 8 a.m. is like how to watch me get killed on live stream.
Hell yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be a stream about, yeah,
Optics.
optics. Is Emily the plant one?
Yes, and plants. Yeah, you
Okay,
want to talk
cool.
about plants, or you want to talk about like photography and painting, or like NASA optical engineering. Those are all subjects you can cover.
Whatever she wants to talk about, I would absolutely like a plant suggestion based off of my lifestyle. That would be cool.
Oh yeah, she can absolutely do that because she has every plant that's ever been just existed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of the big projects I'm working on over the next month is like setting up uh an indoor kind of garden area with some grow lights. I
Yeah.
feel like you can actively hear my voice starting to slip.
Just falling
It's
back
holding on.
asleep live on stream.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, what were we?
Well, I saw you were saying on Twitter that Denton Puncher is in behind bars already.
Yeah, it's so funny because they were like he turned himself in after the cops came and got him. Apparently turning yourself in means you just didn't start
Resist
throwing
arrest.
things and running away. So yeah, he is behind bars, and it's interesting the whole thing because he's had related experiences before. As I mentioned, like his job sent him home for having a political outburst, and
So it just means dropping a hard R in the workplace.
I mean for him and his party, yeah, pretty much. Very interesting that like because you know his wife is a teacher at a private Christian academy,
That
which
tracks.
makes they're both like yeah.
I went to one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. To wear a
uh
uniform. I had to go to there was church every Tuesday at school.
yeah, so I guess what happened is actually I've been tweeting at Bucky's every single day because they're a gas station that primarily makes most of their money from people like that in
Yeah.
Texas, like we talked about. But anyways, they haven't really responded or anything to like why there was uh you know a rally happening outside,
At
even
a
if it was small,
Buc-ee's.
at
Like,
a
just
Buc-ee's.
imagine you roll up to a 7-Eleven and there's just a fucking political protest going on. Like,
Honestly,
what are y'all
that's
doing?
Nazis at 7-Eleven, isn't that shocking? That's what
You got
happens when you
some
have
you got some wild
5 years of a
7-Elevens down in
political agenda that
Texas.
says don't punch Nazis. This is what you get. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, yeah. So what's interesting is you yeah, they won't respond to it. They don't want to interact with it whatsoever. And so what happens is these guys start having it in these two Jetin kids roll up and start playing fuck Trump very loudly from their car speakers. And so the dude on video comes over, and
Yeah,
you've seen the video, right? And
just
he's so
bam.
triggered where he's just like, turn it
Turn it
off,
off.
turn it off. The kid is just like, nah, dude, I'm not gonna. And he's just like, sucker punches him, and it's like
Instantly
one of the
too.
one of the most bitch made punches I've ever seen. Looks at the situation, realizes what he did, turns around and gets in his Dodge Ram and drives away. Like, so stupid. Like, my God, like,
The real question is how could he have possibly been identified? Because isn't like just half of Texas's population look exactly like that and drive the same car?
dude, it's instantly, as soon as I saw the cut of his beard, I was like, oh, you're a Nazi. Like, God, it's so wild. Uh, anyways, yeah, the guy lost a tooth and had some other injuries, but I'll retweet his GoFundMe today. But I think he just hit the mark of like getting all of his medical bills paid for and everything past this point is just like
Hell yeah.
supporting someone that got targeted.
Dude, I need to like go get punched by a Nazi for internet clout.
Yeah.
Our show would just blow up. Like we
Yeah, you would. It would. I mean, listen, you're in DC. Just go to the hospital and do- I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get COVID.
That's true. I'm pretty sure
Trump's
that.
out there just coughing on supporters.
Did you see his tweet where he was like, "I can't believe they're getting mad at me for driving around in a secure car. If
No,
I
did
didn't, they
you
would have said I was rude."
did
It's
you
like,
see an even worse tweet this morning?
no.
All right, you ready to get just absolutely upset?
I'm ready.
Flu season is coming up! Exclamation point. Many people every year, sometimes over 100,000, and despite the vaccine, die from the flu. Are we going to close down our country? No. We have learned to live with it, just like we are learning to live with COVID. In most populations, far less lethal! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
Sorry, dude. If I want to know what's going on, I'll log into TikTok and look at Kellyanne Conway's daughters.
Did you see the new ones? Or Kellyanne Conway's like
Yes.
screaming at her in the background?
It's it's a pure joy. It's pure joy. I honestly I love it so much. And then the tweets that are like grown ass dudes that are shit on YA novels for having like teenage girls like be in those sort of situations where they are like instituting that sort of change or in a apocalyptic situation. It's like so genuinely funny.
Yeah,
See her
absolutely
just
wild.
her her mom is like knowingly lying to her about having COVID and then being around her, and it's like,
Yeah, I mean that
dude, like,
tracks. The thing that's wild to me is something like a pandemic. It is just something so easy to have enough money to avoid. Like we're talking about people that are so fucking stupid they can't even use the fact that they're rich to not get infected, because this is literally the thing where you're just like, oh yeah, I have money, I don't have to go out to places and be around people, or I can just pay to have everyone around me tested constantly. Like
yeah,
there's fucking rich ass people in like rich ass New York neighborhoods that just like fucking throw around $1,000 so that they can have parties on every single test for every single person to come to the party. And
Yeah.
they're fine. Like this isn't when you have $1 billion, it's not hard to not get COVID. It's like the same
Yeah.
thing as climate change. Imagine having $1 billion and living on like the shoreline and refusing to sell your house when the waters start rising. That's how dumb these people are.
No, it does kind of prove that in some instances they have that they're not just being manipulative, but they have bought into their own falsehoods
Exactly.
in a way that's because generally when I see people like that, I assume that they're very corrupt and they're kind of preying on the stupid and not genuinely buying into it themselves. But
Yeah,
it's
no.
become
Republicans
very
are actually
clear.
just that fucking stupid. Like
Dude, Kellyanne Conway is like g- one of the my god, the worst human beings. Like
facts.
just
Hold on, where was I have a
s-
beautiful quote from my boy Destiny the streamer.
mhm.
After seeing how many Republican leaders have fallen ill with COVID 19, I think we need to consider whether or not SARS CoV 2 has been engineered in a lab. It seems to have a rather uncanny ability to target with surgical precision people who are unfathomably fucking stupid.
Oh no. My god. Dude, yeah, in the amount of days he was just out there spewing particles cuz like typically people talk and like right now I'm spewing particles. Trump is like just spraying mist when he speaks. Like just in all directions. I watched him talk. Like he
Oh
is a
my god.
sprinkler of germs and Adderall breath and I don't know. Like
Adderall breath.
yeah, no, it's crazy because Kellyanne Conway's daughter, I forgot her name. I'm trying to remember, but
Claudia, I think.
Claudia, she like messaged, yeah, he's not getting better, which is
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know. I
so
don't know where that is.
well, no, so here's the dumb thing. To pretend like Trump is over any sort of hump with COVID is
Uh-huh.
just not true. COVID kills people around 2 weeks into having COVID,
Okay.
not like 3 days after diagnosed getting out of the hospital.
I've seen a lot of stuff about people getting better and then getting worse.
Yeah, for sure. Like, but yeah, like Trump is not like, regardless of whether or not like how he's doing, he's not over it or through anything.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like it's like it takes around 2 weeks for people to die
Mhm.
from it, and so that means
Interesting.
around like a week or two is when you start really like getting worse and like experiencing the worst of the symptoms. Like once you get past like that 2 week period and are like doing fine, I believe you're relatively safe in regards to like you're not gonna fucking die. Yeah, no, Trump going to the hospital for like 2 days, one day into his diagnosis is not him being over COVID. It's just
Mhm.
not how it works.
Mhm.
So
Absolutely whack.
yeah, and also he's literally like giving press conferences maskless inside the White House now. Like, have you seen the picture of the AP in like fucking uh radiation suits, like taking pictures?
Uh-uh.
It's wild. Hold up. Um, okay, Twitter doesn't want to load right now, so never mind.
Yeah, nasty.
Yeah, it's
That's
fucking
absolutely
it's absolutely insane. Um, just absurd. Oh, here we go. Twitter non-functional currently. Whatever.
that sounds about right.
Twitter, why? I'm trying to use it for content.
Man, did you so today is do you today is, do you want to watch Samurai Champloo Day?
Yes, I am going to watch Samurai Champloo today because I don't have anything going on other than work, and then
Hmm.
I'm gonna try to hang out with the boys and play some Valorant. But I have
Hmm.
all of the episodes uploaded to YouTube right now. I need to
Oh, cool.
finish the thumbnails, so they're not public, but they're there. I just
Hmm.
need to like
Hmm.
put the thumbnails on them and make them public. Um, and yeah, I want to get another overlay done or two today, and I'm gonna watch the first episode of Samurai Champloo. While I do that.
Only about 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
I will also say the English is very good if you want to
Oh,
do
watch
that.
it dubbed.
You can do either, but I actually enjoy all of the voices dubbed quite a bit.
Okay. I'll
I
check it out. I'll
it's
see how it sounds.
Yeah, I think that everyone has a really good characterization to their voices.
Yeah, because
Um,
I'm no purist. I usually watch things dubbed, but I'm not like
I get
under
yeah,
no
I mean for
circumstances will I ever watch it dubbed.
yeah, same. I can kind of go either way.
Yeah.
There are some things that I genuinely can't consume in that way.
Yeah, I mean some dubs are just bad.
The Neon Genesis Evangelion one for me was always just undoable, but I know people that genuinely really like it.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, we're talking about anime.
God, why would we do that?
God, why and how?
Have
Uh,
you had the chance to start that book yet?
no, I am good. What was the name of that book?
No Longer Human. I think you said you ordered it.
I did. I just forgot the name of it, and it's at my other.
My other house.
It's at my. I don't know why it's taking me so long. It's at my house.
This is one of many houses that Tan owns.
A rare collector of
Yeah,
different camera angles.
many properties exclusively
Many
just to
properties.
take shots from different angles. It's the only reason.
My God, incredible. Um, yeah, so I'm excited to start reading that, and then
So, sort of
yeah, I
speaking
mean,
of anime, because there actually is an anime adaptation of that.
whack.
It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's part of oh, what is it called? It's this 12 episode like series called the like Oi Bungaku series, and
Mm-hmm.
it is just anime adaptations of Japanese like novels. So the
Hmm.
first four episodes are No Longer Human, and then the other eight episodes, some of them are like single part for a single book, some of them are like two parters here and there. Yeah, so there's like six or eight stories or something like that that are covered in 12 episodes. Really,
Yeah, cool. I like stuff like that.
yeah.
I'll check that out.
There's also a manga. Well, I guess it's a Junji Ito adaptation of No Longer Human that just came out very
Hmm.
recently. Do you know Junji Ito at all?
Mm-mm.
He's like a manga artist that's done like a lot of like horror and is like super famous and popular in Japan. But yeah, he
Cool.
just did an adaptation of No Longer Human, and his books are thick. Like it's like this thick.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't had the chance to actually read it yet, but I'm excited to.
Yeah, no, I would like to do that. I mean, I like the whole format of like novels being turned into mangas and stuff because I read one that was a I think it was a Alexandre Dumas. I think it was Three
Hmm.
Musketeers that was
Hmm.
turned into a manga. But I've
Interesting.
also seen it the other way, where Japanese light novels have been turned into English like Western graphic novels, because Dark Horse
Interesting.
has a Vampire Hunter D comic based off of the Vampire Hunter D novel, the first one.
Huh.
And I've been meaning to pick it up and read it because like The Vampire Hunter D is one of those things where there's not a lot of content for outside of the novels that gets particularly far.
Right, right.
Like the movies and such kind of cover very small story arcs. But have you ever seen Bloodlust?
I don't think so.
You would like it a lot. The setting is unique because it is like a weird science fantasy
Hmm.
post-apocalyptic kind of setting where it is about the son of Dracula. It's implied. It's
Right.
never said. Who is a Dampier who hunts vampires and has like a cool motorcycle and a neat hat and
Need that.
fights ghosts, and there's like cannons, and there's an entire plot about someone a vampire trying to escape to the moon on a spaceship. It's incredibly aesthetic.
Sounds like a
The
wild
movie
time.
is very good. There are two movies. One of them is very dated. The 1985 Vampire Hunter D movie is very dated,
That's okay.
complete with 80s classic anime nip
Oh
slips.
God, I haven't watched anime in so long.
Yeah.
Um, Jeez. I think the last one I watched was with Michael, and it was just us watching all of Golden Boy in one night together. You
Cool.
ever
Cool.
have you seen
Yes.
Golden Boy?
Yes, I have. I thought you said Michael, and I thought you were gonna be like, it was just us watching Fate Stay Night. I was like,
No.
shut up.
No, it was just Golden Boy and us crying, laughing for an evening.
I'm trying to
Because
think of
that
what the
anime is
last thing I watched
so good.
is good. I keep sitting down to watch JoJo's for the memes and then realize that I
Haven't
don't care.
same.
Yeah, I don't like nothing about the nothing does anything for me
Fuck
about
weeps.
that series. Incredible. Uh, I kind of want to watch some of the. I kind of felt nostalgic to the point where I want to watch like the old Digimon movie and stuff.
God.
Yeah.
Want to watch the original Yu-Gi-Oh show?
No, but I know people that will watch that with you.
It's so
I
bad.
was I was actually talking to someone about like card games in the UK, and because here Magic is the big one in America. That is the kind of flagship.
I think everywhere
The
technically Magic is the big one.
so more people play Yu-Gi-Oh in the UK than Magic,
Interesting.
but it's like neck and neck.
Yeah, because Magic is
I was
like
like,
a millions and millions of players worldwide kind of.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's also a small enough country that it could be slightly different, and they
Yeah. And I mean, the
yeah.
UK isn't a real country, anyways. Stupid accents.
Not anymore. Dumb little voices. My God. What was I saying?
But
Yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh
I
is
don't
more
know. So
popular
they
there.
still play Yugi over there, which is I was about to say, which is wild to me because from what I know about the card economy, it's massively broken. But also at this
Yu-Gi-Oh is
point,
literally a healthier game than Magic right now, and it's kind of wild because Yu-Gi-Oh is disgustingly unhealthy.
yeah, interesting.
Yeah. And that's all formats of Magic too. Yu-Gi-Oh only
Hmm.
has like one format where it's just kind of like all the cards plus a ban list. And Magic has like fucking just six different popular formats, and all of them are
Hmm.
just disgustingly broken messes that have been ruined by WotC.
Yeah, that tracks.
Including
Uh,
the saddest part is Standard, which is their like only the most recent sets rotating format. The one that they supposedly play test and spend all of their R&D time working on has been broken for 5 years now.
hmm.
5 years.
Damn.
We're past the point of like, oh, we fucked up, and sometimes that happens, and we have to ban a couple cards, and like, we'll get our shit back together. Like that happens, and that's happened a
Hmm.
few times in the 25 years that Magic has existed. No, it's just been a shit show for 5 years.
Even like uh, the other flip side of oh, I was about to say Wizards of the Coast. That's Games Workshop. Like Warhammer hasn't been broken for that long.
Yeah, Yeah, well, Games
Yeah,
Workshop, as far as I understand, Warhammer is like just a wonderful game. It's just Games Workshop is a horrific company that makes a great game.
yeah. I enjoy what I played, but it's
Yeah,
also been a long time since I've done anything big outside of kind of playing some of the games that replicate it and some of their one-off games. But they I've always had a good time,
yeah,
and so I mean, excuse me. The thing is, like, and everyone says it, it's incredibly expensive, but that's
yes.
just the
That's
nature of.
the nature of fucking nerd hobbies. You want to play a
Yeah,
thing and any amount of competitiveness? $1,000, please.
yes, it's interesting. Even like if you're just gonna play kind of baseline fifth edition Dungeons and Dragons, it's kind of a heavy buy-in as well.
Yeah, because all the books are like $50 plus, bare minimum.
So Kevin Crawford, who did Stars Without Numbers, which is a cool sandboxy sci-fi RPG based off of the Traveler system, which was also kind of the closer to OG kind of 90s sci-fi tabletop RPG.
Yeah,
I've always liked Stars Without Numbers a lot. I like it as a game system. Yeah, I like that it's a very free flow and its world building is neat and it's very simple to play, but also can be about it can be crunchier if the players want to go in on doing really crunchy things.
yeah,
But baseline, it's a very simple roll dice, do this, get this number.
interesting.
Anyways, Kevin Crawford had been working on something called Worlds Without Number, which was his system, but geared towards playing fantasy D&D. And
Sci-fi.
mhm. I've been playtesting it, and it's been a lot of fun. And the Kickstarter just went live.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
yeah, it looks really good. Honestly, I could probably run a game in Worlds Without Number pretty easily because all of those systems, Traveler, Stars Without Number, Other Dust, which is kind of like the post-apocalyptic subgenre of Stars Without Numbers, they all translate into each other quite nicely. Mhm.
God, you're just
Yeah,
gonna
they're
have
made
me.
to be kind of modular.
You're just gonna have me playing D&D all the time.
God, if I have to,
Oh, just been
if I have to
roped
suffer
into
this
it.
curse, then someone else does.
Haven't played in 2 years, and now I'm just like, all right, come
All
play
day.
every tabletop RPG I can find.
We're playing My God, I assume we're playing on Friday again. We'll
I
find out.
have no idea.
I
Yeah,
would
you
like
should
to
probably
play on
ask.
Friday again.
Should ask the
Yeah.
group. God, are we
Yeah.
doing it like every week?
At least until I can get enough audio to get ahead, that would be cool.
Okay. All right.
We do it every week as though we don't get up and do this show every day.
Listen. What if I want to do something with my Friday night, like lay in bed
No,
and
no, no.
drink?
You can lay in bed and drink while you play.
It's not the same.
Oh my God. Incredible. I've been doing far more drinking than I typically ever do recently.
Hell yeah.
Not like an unhealthy amount or anything, just that I don't particularly have a very high tolerance for alcohol.
I remember when Patrick used to talk about the campaign you ran with him years ago, you just being like plastered half the time.
I got it wasn't even like a boozy cool drunk. It was like an 18 pack of Montucky Cold Snack light beers or just like Miller Lights. And like Miller Lite tall cans. And just disgusting. It's like disgusting, sloppy, burpy drunk on stream.
I'm so sad that I never got to experience that.
Oh, it was so wildly. I don't know. We had a lot of fun during that campaign. There was Emil had this thing he would do
Yeah.
essentially where he would be like, I want to show you guys something. And like he would be really excited about like he'd be like, I got a new lighter or I got a new pipe or I got this book. And he would always frame it in a very because he had a decent camera where it would focus and then kind of blur the background,
Yeah.
but always have the most tasteful gay porn in the background with just like whatever the object was just barely concealing like the penetration. What was happening? Like every time he would spend so much time on it.
It's so good. Oh my god, I love it.
Anyways, yeah, we had good times. Patrick had a very good character. Everyone had very good characters. Patrick's character especially was good, and that campaign reached a very satisfying ending of like everyone actually ended up happy and Patrick's character got married and started at Monk Academy. Uh,
That tracks.
started. Patrick. They're like a bunch of monks, but they're like they all play like the devil's advocate for spirituality.
God, that tracks. The most Patrick bullshit I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's like Taoism, but without committing to any sort of ideal whatsoever, just questioning everything. Like they're like question everything, and they're like, that's a good method. No, everything, all the time. Never commit to anything.
The actual Patrick special.
Yeah, yeah.
God
I
damn
don't
it.
know. If yeah, that was I could never get any sort of firm, some firm. Yeah, but what do you actually think about this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, Patrick is wonderful to argue with for 3 to 4 hours and never have anything to. Just no break, no conclusion, just eventually a realization that you're both talking past each other because you fundamentally disagree on like the basic rights of humanity and then giving up completely.
It'll be very interesting because you'll converse with him and you'll start at the same place and then it won't click, it won't click, it won't click, it won't click, and then there's just like this hour and a half and you're just incredibly frustrated and you're like, dude, what? And then Patrick's like, oh wait, you think humans deserve to be alive? No, no, no.
Yeah,
Like
literally.
like you get to the baseline thought of what it is and it's like I think that we should bomb the planet.
Yeah, no, we debated eugenics for like 3 hours at one point in time, and eventually we were just like, do humans deserve rights? And Patrick was just like, absolutely not. And I was just like, oh. All right, that's what we should have been arguing about this entire time. Then I see.
Patrick is the most pure, just hippie, like the most pure, where he's like literally give the planet back to the animals. Like
But we are the
they should.
animals.
No, 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 them, not us. Dolphins should tell us what to do. Very good.
Just reliving trauma
Man.
right now.
It's very good. It's exceptionally good. Yeah, I had some wild times in that D&D campaign. We had so much fun. I remember the time your girlfriend came on, we made her cry.
Which one?
Abra.
Okay. Oh
I was like,
God.
I was about to see, like, I don't think we could make Jesse cry. I don't, I don't think that could happen. Does
Wait,
you should get Jesse to come on the show.
super down for it if I can ever convince her to be like free and available.
There's no way she's alive and around this early in the morning.
You'd be surprised. You'd be
Maybe,
surprised.
yeah, yeah, probably. I mean, I assume that no one is. Like, the fact that I am is
Yeah, I'll ask her next time I talk to her. She's been just going through the life right now and starting a new job and moving and like all sorts of sh- personal shit at the moment. And she's working as a package handler at FedEx now.
I was gonna ask her, her and her partner still, do they still do Magic? Or I assume no one's playing Magic right now.
Yeah, they don't really play that much, but like I
Mhm,
everyone we all know is just Magic friends. So we all still kind of keep up with things and
mhm.
talk about it and whatnot. And he's working at one of the bigger card shops in like the Maryland area now.
I wonder, so are they back open?
Yeah, no, Maryland's just like, yeah, sure, it's fine, reopen, let's go.
Can't get any worse.
Yeah.
Eventually, we'll run out of people that die.
Yeah, and I'm happy for them because they both got like fucked over with the pandemic too. Because Jesse's done a lot of waiting tables, and it was kind of hard to wait tables when the country wasn't open.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, no, so she's just like working long ass shifts of like throwing heavy packages, so she's just dead 90% of the time outside of that.
That's exhausting work.
Yeah, and she's
My
doing
my
like long ass shifts too, like fucking 12-hour shifts.
damn,
Yeah. Because the nice
that's
thing about
wild.
FedEx is it's FedEx is wonderful to work for. It's just the job sucks. So they'll
Yeah.
literally just like give you time off whenever you need it and just give you hours whenever you want. So you can just be like, hey, I want to work all the time. And they'll be like, yeah, sure, come in 12 hours a day every day. Like
I'm trying to remember what the other uh shipping conglomerate is. There's FedEx, the post
UPS.
office. Yeah.
UPS, yeah. There's
Which
DHL too, but
which are the ones that have the brown shorts and the brown
UPS.
trucks? Yes.
UPS, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just USPS without an extra S.
Interestingly, like I know someone that worked for them that was it's just like the most brutal, pure, unbridled HR cannot will not do anything sexism throughout the company.
Yeah, that tracks.
It's
I
I
know
don't know
someone that
what
worked
if
for them as
FedEx is
well.
that bad,
I don't
but
think
like
FedEx is that bad. I think it depends more on the area. Like I have another friend
mhm.
that works at FedEx up in more of a rural area, and it's just like fucking dumbasses all over the place. But I
Yeah.
don't think there's like a major problem with like I wouldn't say there's like a problem with that kind of thing in like a systemic nature,
Mhm.
but I doubt they do much about people that just kind of say dumb shit. You just kind of ignore them and are free to tell them to fuck off, and no one's gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, that's
'Cause-
actually most companies in Texas as well. Uh, is yeah, you can't do anything about people saying dumb stuff. They just say dumb stuff,
yeah,
and then you either say dumb stuff back or tell them to shut up, and it's fine.
yeah. Which I mean, it's not that. That's not awful. I mean, like,
Yeah, the
could
stories
be
I've heard
worse.
about like doing like truck loading and stuff like that in the Dallas area is just like 24/7 harassment.
Yeah, I don't think it's like that
Hmm.
around here. I think it's more just like people spout dumb opinions
Hmm.
regularly, but not like in a not like harassing you. Just like I don't know,
Yeah.
racism and shit. QAnon conspiracy talk while
Oh
loading
god.
trucks, that kind of thing. Some flat earthers, you know.
There's a whole just portion of my family that is into that stuff. The like the whole theory that like Trump is doing this bad of a job because he's protecting us from the real horrors that he knows about. The
Yeah,
real
they're using the COVID as a opportunity to kill off all the pedophile Hollywood elites and make it look like they died of COVID and they can't get their adrenochrome blood supply that they drink because they drink human blood to stay alive. Is their evil cabal that definitely are Jews, but will never actually say that they're Jews because we don't want to be associated with Nazis. We'll just show stars of David on a regular basis when talking about any of them.
Yep.
It's a
It's a
time, man.
yikes.
It's a
It's an
wild
absolute
time.
it's an absolute yikes. It's very interesting because the family members that buy into it, I'm not particularly shocked. I
Yeah.
think hearing one of my parents talk about it in a manner that seemed almost like they believed it was the point where I was kind of like, come on, like you
Yeah.
don't actually think any of that. I
It's
mean,
scary.
I
Especially
mean, it is scary because you could, when believe crazy stuff like that, you can kind of justify quite a bit of, well, yeah.
and this is where I make my argument that religion is a net negative on society, but we don't have to we only have like 10 minutes left in the show. We don't have time for that.
I mean, it's like not, it's not, there's not really a winning other side to that debate statistically,
Yeah.
like it's not.
I mean, I
I
know
don't
I'm
have
right. We just don't
yeah,
understand.
I don't have a comparative number of people that have been not killed. Like,
Yeah, it's
but
one of those things where
yeah,
like technically all of these awful things could probably happen without like a religious like catalyst, but if you can convince someone to believe completely irrational shit, it's pretty easy to convince them to believe other completely irrational shit based on that irrational shit.
yeah, no, it's interesting
That's why the
because
that's why the Catholic Church does like very minor irrational shit on top of their irrational shit to do things like what not was it penance, the thing where they convinced you that purgatory existed and if you paid the church money that you
hmm
you wouldn't go to purgatory even though
hmm
purgatory is explicitly said to not exist in the Bible.
I like that. Like most of the Catholic Church looks at some of the stuff the Pope says, and they're like, no, 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 no. No, 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 you have to keep doing this. And it's like, dude, I don't. It's like your Pope literally said it's fine. Like, what? What?
Yeah,
Your Pope literally said gay people are okay. And they're like, no, 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 no,
perhaps
no, no,
under
no.
no circumstances. See, it's weird. Catholics are really chill in the like a view like how they interact with other people sense in like modern
hmm
day world. Like for them, like there's like extreme fucking dumbasses out there, but for the most part
Yeah.
it's kind of like just like yeah, we just believe in these things and don't use protection, so we all have like 35 children.
Yeah.
um, but like they're not like spreading like running around knocking on people's doors like hey believe this thing that I believe, and they're not like running around with like God hates F slurs signs or anything like that. Like, nothing like crazy. They just believe some dumb shit. um
Yeah.
but
No, no,
there
no. It's the go. Sorry, go ahead.
no you're fine, but there's like some really weird awful shit that they propagate, and that's mostly the whole like both anti-abortion and anti contraception at all, which is just awful.
hmm hmm
um, like here's a fun fact that most people don't know: Mother Teresa is a piece of shit, and somehow the Catholic
Oh.
Church made her a saint.
And in what context was she so awful? Because I know very
Um,
little about the
so for
actual.
starters, just on a like the obvious stuff, advocating against contraception in a third world country is pretty bad. Um,
It's not good.
and she just let people die in her supposed like hospital like because like in a very similar sense to like the Jewish belief of finding meaning in suffering, she was just
Uh
like
huh.
yeah no, suffering will bring you close to God, to fucking have fun without pain meds, bitch. Yeah, no, she just let people die, advocate against
Yeah, that tracks.
contraception. Yeah, no, she was a fucking terrible human being that did terrible things, but got
hmm
some fucking good camera angles while doing it, and the Pope made her a saint, and here we are.
That's whack. Yeah. When I worked in New York, everyone I worked with for the most part was Irish Catholic and like very Irish Catholic.
I'm baptized one of those.
Yeah. They didn't like the gays. That
Oh
was
no.
that was the one thing that became abundantly clear when
Yeah,
I
my
started working there.
my grandmother died not knowing that my family was no longer Catholic. My mom went through the whole process to go become Catholic so my parents could have a Catholic wedding to make my
Yeah,
dad's mom happy.
yeah,
The whole 9 yards.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
wild.
Yep. I'm baptized Catholic, and then the whole priests raping children thing happened, and my parents were like, let's go not here.
Let's go not to this place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
no,
Baltimore was an area that had that scandal specifically as well, which is.
yeah. I I heard that was like one of the absolute hot spots.
Yeah, it was like Boston, Baltimore, and then like a million others because it's just fucking Catholic priests like children, which sorry, it's all the way up to the all the way up to the Vatican. So
Yeah,
uh-huh.
it's been very interesting to see, like, because like that is specifically a severely Catholic problem, but there are other churches that have kind of the exact same issue.
All of
I
those
think it.
churches prohibit their pastors from getting married.
Yeah,
Vows of
it's
celibacy, all that bullshit is just a hot spot for people in that kind of position because you don't have to explain why you don't have a wife and you also have free access to children.
yeah, I was gonna ask what the correlation there was, but I mean that makes sense. Being really
Yeah.
positive
And you're just
subject matter this morning.
hell yeah. And I mean you're basically sworn into a sexually repressive situation even if you
Hmm.
like aren't
Hmm.
specifically like a steadfast pedophile when you become a priest. I mean, hey, never have sex, never have a romantic relationship, have fun living the rest of your life at 25 till the end of it, just preaching. Like,
Yeah, it is very. It's wild to see how people put in those situations tend to gravitate towards each other
mhm,
systematically.
yeah,
It's very interesting. Yeah, and it's not a purely Catholic issue either.
no,
Like I
no,
mean, that's kind of where it is the most severe, but there are kind of other systematic system religions that organized religions that have that issue all the way to the top as well,
yep.
which is yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I worked at like a Napa Auto Parts way back in the day. I was just a kid, and like everyone there was like a little bit older than me, and all also dudes. And yeah, I remember first day they were like very subtly trying to figure out. They're like, "Do you also are are you homophobic? Can we? Do you want
Can we talk about how bad the gays are for
to?"
existing?
Oh my god! But it's such a wild situation because they were incredibly just viciously homophobic. But then one of our clients was like a extremely gay man who was very, very like extremely gay. He was very like
The gay extremist.
a gay experience. He was just very forward about it in like conversation and like
Yeah.
and
Little
like it was something he brought up.
flamboyant situation kind of thing.
Not
Interesting.
really. No,
Usually
no, no, no.
that's usually what I would say is implied if you say like extremely gay.
Yeah, that is kind of the where our mind typically goes in those situations. But no, just in the sense that he talked about it quite a
Hmm.
bit, and they all kind of liked him a lot. Like
Just like, while
they
my husband was 8 inches inside me last night in the middle of conversation.
Let me stop you. I gotta tell you. So I gotta tell you about this painting. No, like yeah, it's very interesting to see how you can logically remove yourself from that, where you can be. You're like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I love this dude. I love Steve. He
Yeah,
comes
it's
in.
the classic one of the good ones situations where you have people like Ben Carson in the current government. You have influencers like Blair White being one of the good trans people, or fucking the classic Candace Owens.
Mm.
One of the good ones is she dresses conservatively and talks about why black people deserve to get murdered while being a black person. So clearly her views represent every single black person because we agree with her. And that's how it should be. One of the good ones.
That's absolutely exactly what it was. It's a very it's just wild to see how people can remove themselves logically from their own hateful beliefs to be a normal person, but
Yep.
then still they can't draw the correlation that like their beliefs are actively suppressive to the people that they supposedly care about.
So one last thing before we wrap up, there's something like a really broad thing that I've noticed in regards to how these kind of divides work in regards to like the like bigotry and whatnot. Um, and you can really draw the line in like current day between like liberal and conservative views. Conservatives think every other person is going to act in the worst way possible under all circumstances, and liberals do not. If
Yeah,
you if
it's
you
kind of very
propose an idea,
bleak.
yeah, like if you propose an idea in regards to say, like social safety nets and like welfare and whatnot, every single conservative is gonna be like, what about all the people that could abuse this in any way, shape, or form? If one person that doesn't deserve this gets a single fucking welfare dollar, I'm gonna blow my brains out. Um, Whereas the liberal perspective is like, yeah, I mean, sure, like 2% of people are going to abuse this, but I'd rather 2% of people abuse this and every person that needs it be covered.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and that's the, you can draw that distinction between every single disagreement pretty much. That's how you have like these one of the good ones situations because when you actually interface with a real person, because most real people are fucking fine, like, and
Yes.
are generally well intentioned. You're gonna be like, oh yeah, this person is like fine, but that doesn't. They're not like the rest of them because you don't know the rest of them, and you automatically assume the rest of them are as bad as you can possibly imagine.
Hmm. Yeah. No, being raised religiously. That was something that was also kind of enforced. Was the whole everyone else is very bad and wants to kind of like steer you to be bad and not religious.
Secularism. Ooh. Spooky.
Yikes. It's interesting. I don't think I ever believed it because when it was so easy for me to instantly unlearn. It was like
Yeah.
it was like the moment I was like, no, I I don't think I ever really bought into it, even when I, as a kid, was like, yeah, that everybody else is, but us is bad. But they won't say that. They're not like, no, 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 it's not. You can't say it that way.
Yeah.
But yes,
Yes.
yes, God will kill them, but
Yes.
they're not bad.
Yeah, they're just going to hell to suffer for all of eternity.
Oh boy, yikes! I don't know. Yeah, I think that's where I draw division and where if you're in any sort of situation where you're being told that everyone else is wrong or bad but you, then s- you're in a bad situation.
Yeah.
You're being yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Well, you want to shout out your stuff and we can wrap up for the day?
Cool. I host a. I was trying to think of something ridiculous.
What do I do?
I I host an ostrich ranching stream on Twitch
Hell yeah.
3 times a week. No, I have a podcast called uh this one. I do that. I also write. You can find my stuff on Roll20. I should link that at some point, or you should link that.
Yeah, I need to make some
Tan
Discord
and
or some bot commands for the stream that can just link all this shit
Yeah, Tan M
at the end.
Montana on Roll20. You can also join our Discord server and reach out to me directly if you want to see some of the stuff I'm working on, because a lot of it right now is not released, but I am looking for people to play test it. So if you are transpositive and like wizards, message me because I have a cool game that is in playtesting currently, and I actually kind of messed around with it the other day, and it was a lot of fun. I do that, and yeah, Cyan Beats on SoundCloud. If you want to look at some of my music, I make video game soundtracks and occasionally just stuff. I made some very jank music for this stream. That's all I can.
Absolute bangers.
That's all I can properly think of at the moment. What about you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at that. Um, Other than that, we'll be back here tomorrow morning around 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. East. And
Mhm.
yeah, like, favorite, comment, subscribe, donate, share. I don't know, engage with my content. And yeah,
Say productivity if you're listening.
say productivity if you're listening. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. You're very appreciated, and we'll be back tomorrow, and I will play us out.
All right, bye bye.